Hello Internet! Today we have this AMD from MSI called MEC. My guess is MEC stands for Mechanic Specials. You know, the garbage you buy on Craigslist to fix? Anyway, the lucky owner of this card said it artifacts, so let's go straight into the memory test, for which I'll have to switch to a different SSD. But for some reasons, I ended up booting into Windows instead. Oh well. While we're at it, let's see if the drivers pick up automatically, and if there are any errors anywhere. Everything seemed to work fine, so let's start from work and... Aha! Artifacts. Even more artifacts with the Valley. Okay, this must be one of those videos where all I do is to swap memory. And some of you have already moved their mouse over the X to close this window. But wait, nothing is ever that simple. Behind the scene, I already ran memory test and it passed. And then you ask yourself, well, what else can cause artifacts? You see, the thing is, those artifacts are not dynamic. They're always in the same place, indicating a problem with solder joint. Have a look at the board. See how curved it is? That curve could very well be the cause for those broken connections. And this is one of many reasons why I don't like AMD cards. They bend too easily and solder joints crack way more often than it should. Just having a quick look at the side of the core, you can see that the edges are squished while the middle is not. So let's try what Linus Tech Tips would do and reflow the core. Reflow is done, let's see if that helped. Artifacts still present, and that is exactly why I don't bother with reflow. And with that in mind, I will remove both core and memory, and the reason why I'm doing both is so that I won't doubt myself later. Doubting myself is what I do quite a bit in my life, but this is one place where I'm as confident as anybody can be. So let's get on with that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry to interrupt. Please observe. This is a gray pad. Unless you remove the oxide layer, solder won't stick to it and you're gonna have all sorts of problems. Okay? Let's continue. Okay, with everything reballed, let's check for resistances and make sure that we didn't create any shorts or maybe something has died. Never know. With that out of the way, let's power it on and see if we have all voltages. And for some reasons, card does not consume any amps. So what am I missing here? We have 1.8, so next in line is 5? Which is rather strange because 5 usually comes before 1.8. But this is AMD, everything's weird about it. Some strange value instead of 5. Okay, I guess something was already dying and the heat cycle just finished it off. So let's have a look at what this thing is and see why it's dead. According to this schematic, there are 3 pins I want to check. First is VCC, enable, and power OK, so let's do that. We have 5 volt on VCC, and we have enable but no power OK, which is not OK. Next thing to check would be the boot, and we have 4.6 volts on the boot, as we should, which means this IC is dead inside, and since this is AMD and I don't have any parts in stock, it's going to be about a month until I get it. Goodbye. Okay, the chip came, let's solder on and see what happens. Okay, we have 5 volt. Even the power good signal is now present. Great. Let's boot into Windows and see if it works and if artifacts are gone by running firmware just for a second, and bam, no artifacts. Next, I will assemble the card and proceed with the stress tests. And funny thing is, I noticed that when I'm running firmware, the core temperature and the hotspot are 20 degrees apart. That can't be right, so I took the card apart one more time to verify the contact with the heatsink, and it's as good as it gets. And then, I saw this bent corner, so I thought to myself, let's make this bracket flat again. But that didn't help. Then I looked at the heatsink, and I noticed 2 things. First, the block that contacts the core is aluminum, not copper. Second, transfer pipes are copper, but they are not soldered to the radiator. In other words, this MSI card is a complete junk, and we all thought MSI is a good brand. No, it isn't. That's it for you today. I hope you learned something in this video. If so, hit me with the like, subscribe for more videos like that, and have a blessed day. Goodbye.